In this video, I am going to give you 7 tips on daily planning. Hopefully this video will give you ideas and inspiration on how to use your planner more effectively. It doesn't matter what kind of planner you have. These tips can be used with any planner. Some of these tips may sound similar because each tip feeds off of another tip. Let's get started. Tip number 1, take 10 minutes at the end of each day to plan. Daily planning only takes a few minutes each day, but it will save you a lot of time throughout the day. I think 10 minutes is a reasonable amount of time that most people can squeeze out of their schedule. I like to sit up in bed at night, put my planner on my lap, and do my daily planning then. When you plan, you are taking time for yourself. You are prioritizing yourself and your time. I believe as living human beings that our time is our most precious asset. Not money, not material things. Time. Time, because if you squander your time, you will never get it back. You can lose money and you can get that back. I've read many stories about business people who have lost money and had repossessions of their material things. And you know what? Over time, they normally get it back because once a person knows how to make money, they know how to make money again. However, time isn't like that. Once you waste your time, you can never get it back. So please consider taking 10 minutes to close out your day. Tip number 2, when you sit down to plan daily, review what's coming up the next day. If you have somewhere to be the next day, use this time to look up the address. That way you can gauge how long it's going to take to get there and what time you need to leave. When I do things like this, when I make these small preparations for the next day, it helps me feel more calm. I feel more in control of my life because I'm making choices about how I plan to spend my time. Tip number 3 for daily planning is to review yesterday's daily spread. This way you can tie up any loose ends. There may be something on yesterday's spread that will jog your memory about something that you need to do. Maybe there's something that was left incomplete. If so, now's the time to make plans to do them later. In the Franklin Planner system, we use symbols to indicate the action that you're going to take on an item. A check mark means that the item was completed. If you place an arrow next to the item, that means that it was forwarded to another time. And if you want, you can put next to there the date that it was forwarded to. An X indicates that the item should be deleted and no longer needs to be completed. You can use a check mark with a circle to indicate when an item has been delegated to someone else. And so that you'll remember who you delegated it to, you can put that person's initials next to the task. Also, you can use a dot to indicate that you've started something, but it hasn't been completed yet, or it is in process. When it's completed, you can simply turn the dot into a check mark. Tip number 4 is to use daily planning as a way to relieve stress. Reviewing your planner relieves stress because it allows you to assess upcoming events and prepare for them. Sometimes we can be too ambitious with our planning and have this big long list of to-dos that we just don't have time to complete in one day. When I do daily planning, it makes me feel that I have control over my life. This leads me to the next tip, which is tip number 5, which is review your priorities in your daily task list. Use this time to think about balancing work and personal priorities. Think about those things that must really come first. Think about your big rocks, which is just another way to say think about those things that are most important to you. Those priorities come first and everything else is gravel and should fall around it. Tip number 6 for daily planning is to review your monthly calendar. Your monthly calendar will contain time-specific events, and there's a chance that there may be something written on your monthly calendar that is not on your weekly or your daily spread. Also, I would take this a step further and even take a moment to review your electronic monthly calendar on your cell phone. I know for me, sometimes if I don't have my planner with me, I will put down something that I don't want to forget on my cell phone calendar. So this is a good time when you're doing your daily planning to make sure that that information that's on your cell phone calendar actually gets written in your planner. Are you finding this video helpful? If so, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would subscribe. The last tip, tip number 7, is geared toward people that have a lot of writing space in their planner spread. For example, if you have the planner that's a day on 2 pages and you have a whole page for daily notes, then this tip is for you. The tip is, if you like to journal, take a moment when you're doing your daily planning to write a couple of sentences about what happened that day. This is a nice way to fill up the blank space in your planner and actually make your planner like a keepsake for the future. I hope you found these tips on daily planning helpful. Hey, is there a tip on daily planning that you think I left out that you think other people would find helpful? If so, please feel free to put that in the comments. I learned so much by reading your comments below. Please don't forget to like this video. And also, I wanted to mention that I did a video on how to do weekly planning, which I will put in the description area of this video. All of the items that you saw here in this video can be found on the franklinplanner.com website, and you can save money with discount promo code TonyaPlans. This is Tonya, helping you feel more organized so this can be your best year yet. Take care.